or the aim of the project basically, first of all, was to just make a guide that would be easy for people to search, covering the 77 journals that you have access to. We would index all the authors, the titles mentioned, and then this wonderful team decided, instead of just picking out main surnames, they wanted all the surnames listed and all the locations worldwide. So it added to the project, but it made it so much richer, and I'm glad for their feedback. And the family history resources are just in abundance. They're just, you will find things there that you've never thought there were certain websites. It also reminds us that by gathering this information, we are showcasing the work that the volunteers and branches have achieved over 37 years. So there's a big thank you to the people who put all that information together. But let's go over to Kate and she'll talk us through these initial phases. Thanks, Kate.
Thank you, Audrey. So this project occurred in 2 phases. I would say it's a pilot phase for the first one to see a feasibility. And Audrey proposed this to me. I was looking for a volunteer opportunity with NIFHS. And she said, this is what I've been wanting to do for quite a while. And she recruited Lisa, who's with us today from Australia. And the 3 of us then set about trying to figure out how to do this. And it was decided that myself and Lisa would actually attempt the indexing, and that Audrey then would supervise us, and she would then provide the second check so that she would read all of the articles as well and double check our work. Next slide, Audrey, please. So you see from the first line here, our timeline was about 7 months that we worked. So in that time, we had 18 journals, decided the period from 2013 to 2021 would be a good place to start to see if there was any interest in what we were doing. At that time, then we created a format. We did a lot of fiddling with that, trying to find consistency, how we could record it easily, and most importantly, how it would be easily used by our readers and our members, so that, let me just stop there. So we produced an initial guide, and that was piloted, Audrey, I forget exactly when.
Okay, we kind of released it in the October education courses and on from there, and we got good feedback.
Great. Okay, so it was about October of 21, and we did receive positive feedback from members who had used it, and they had found some ancestors that they didn't know about. And so at that point, it was like, yes, we need to index the rest. Okay. Audrey, if you would.
Yeah, okay.
So the next phase is, okay, how are we going to do this? Because there are many more. From 1984 on, there are many more journals. So Audrey recruited a team, bless your heart, finding this international team of Allison, who's with us today. Liz, I don't know, I haven't seen her. Margaret Armstrong from Northern Ireland, England, Scotland, and Chris, I haven't seen you, but I understand you're on today. And we decided then that we'd make myself the sub-editor, and my husband, John Kwiatkowski, contributed some IT work, which really helped. My position then was shifted to what Audrey had done before, is that Allison, Liz, Margaret, Amy, and Chris, and myself and Audrey divided up the remaining journals, and we indexed our pieces, and then sent them to me, and I did the double check of reading those journals, and then passed them on to Audrey, who then did the final editing. So our timeline for this was, you see, less than a year. Amazingly, Audrey recruited that team. We had a training for the team because we had set out a certain template and we wanted to follow that as best as we could, given that there was great variability among the articles and how they're presented. Various journals then were allocated to the volunteers. We each had, I believe, 8 journals to index. Each submission was reviewed individually by myself and then by Audrey for accuracy. And then the phase 1 and the phase 2 guides were combined, and then they were edited for consistency